I'm Sarah Jerman and I'm the head of 2 teaching schools in Swindon, which is a large town in the southwest of England. Teaching schools were set up by the government in 2010 as a way of developing a school-led system approach towards education. As a teaching school, we're responsible for initial teacher training, for leadership development and for professional development of teachers and staff within schools. Currently in Swindon we work with about 60 primary schools, 10 secondary schools and 2 colleges.
So what is your organisation's experience of the student dropout issue? Is dropping out a problem?
Legally in the UK, students have to attend school until the age of 18. So dropping out per se isn't a problem, although in certain areas of Swindon we do have issues with low aspirations and low attainment. A lot of our more able students in Swindon tend to move to colleges and schools outside of the town, which leaves obviously a bigger issue than with the schools that are actually in Swindon.
Thank you. Does your organisation have any programme or project or initiative which is related to the prevention of student dropout?
So all the schools in Swindon will have their own initiatives and their own programmes to work with the students to ensure that they motivate them and that they challenge any issues with attendance. As a teaching school, part of our training for new teachers and also for teachers that are already in the profession focus an awful lot on making sure that teachers have the tools to be able to identify children that may be at risk of dropping out and to be able to work with them to support them and to prevent this from happening.
Does your organisation have any methods or instruments or tools to detect or deal with students at the risk of dropping out?
So again, all the schools in Swindon will have their own systems when it comes to tracking progress, tracking attendance, tracking attainment of the pupils. And they will all have their own attendance officers and their own counsellors who work closely with children who may be at risk. Again, as a teaching school, part of our role is to ensure that leaders and teachers and other support staff are aware of issues and have the latest up-to-date training to ensure that they can tackle these problems in their own schools.
As a teaching school, how do you support staff in terms of parental engagement and in particular parental role in terms of preventing dropout?
So parents obviously play a key part in the education of their children. In some parts of Swindon there is an issue with engaging pupils, but schools all have a very wide range of approaches to make sure that they do the best they can to engage parents and to ensure that they're on board with their children's education.
Thank you. And finally, regarding all the wide range of professionals involved in your schools, to what extent do you think they have the knowledge, skills and competencies to professionally deal with students who are maybe at risk of dropping out?
So part of our role, the training part of our role is a very significant one, and we ensure that we run a lot of courses, a lot of training sessions and programmes for all staff involved in children's education, whether they be teachers, support staff or leaders, admin staff, and we ensure that we run lots of courses to do with safeguarding, to do with welfare, to do with motivating children, to do with tracking attendance and progress, to ensure that all staff within Swindon have the tools that they need. These courses are always well attended and lots of teachers will come to them and always have the latest information and the latest training available.
Thank you.